Record. There we are. We're not live yet though. So I'm going to do that now. All right. 3, 2, and all right. I think we are live. Welcome everyone to Pro NoCoders Office Hours, episode number 149. I should really have that up, but I don't have Tonya set up, so that's fine. It is Justin Hume here leading today's office hours. I'm here with all of our members, and we're going to get started in just a moment. If this is your first time tuning in to office hours, we do this every week and every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Tuesdays, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And what we do is invite our members to come onto our Zoom, which we broadcast live, and ask us any bubble questions that we have. And we get it right most of the time. Of course, we can't answer all questions and we don't know everything, but we promise that you won't suffer alone and we get it right most of the time. If you'd like to join us for a complimentary session, you can join up at ProNoCoders.com and click on the Office Hours tab in your member portal. Your first session is on us, and we'll do what we can to answer your bubble questions. All right, it's time to get started. All right, so I think I didn't keep a good track of who came into the meeting first, so hopefully we'll be civil about it today. I'll grab the list of participants. So we've got Francisco, Adam, Brittany, Jordan, Kim, and Thomas. I think Brittany, I think you were the first one to join the room. So Brittany, do you want to kick us off here? Do you have a question for us?
I do. Yes, I can go and click. I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if that's.
Are you still hearing an echo?
No, not anymore.
Okay, it's probably because I had Restream open at the same time.
Okay. You can go ahead to the next person and just come back to me because I can't even get to the screen yet. So you can go ahead. I wasn't.
All right. Ready. No, it's no rush. No rush.
Okay.
I think Thomas, you came in next. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. No questions. Just tuning in.
Just tuning in. Awesome. Nice to see you. All right. I guess after that we had Francisco. Francisco, let's bring it on. Bring on that chart question of yours.
Let's go then.
Can't wait.
Let me just open up here dashboard. Da-da-da. Dun. Here I am. Let me share my screen here.
All right, sounds good.
The problem that I'm having here, Justin, it's pretty much it's really close to the problem where we had before with the bar chart, with the stacked bar chart. I don't know if you remember anything of that drama.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, are you guys seeing my screen?
I do, yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let me just show you the page loaded. It's a line chart where I'm having here, it's a ranking chart. So I have here on the X value, I'm making a search for rankings on the diary and formatted as, so I have here looking only for current user, and here's formatted as ranking year, which is the name of the category over there, and formatted as only year and unique elements, so it doesn't show repeatedly the elements.
Oh,
it's this guy that I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it grew since we last talked.
Really good.
This is the chart that I'm having problems. So what is the problem? The values, the chart reads the values, so that's okay. But for example, here in this green line here, it's supposed to be like 2012, 2018, and 2020. It's not reading, it's just putting the data in the first year that it can, like randomically. So, and then here on my X values, I don't think the problem it's here on the X value, because here I have just the years that those ranks were inputted. But then here, when I come to the Y values, it's really, really super simple, because especially after the problem that we had on the bar chart, that was a lesson learned, that it has to be like simple and very similar, the X and Y expression here.
Mhm.
So I have here on the Y values, I'm making a search for rankings inside the diary. And the name of the ranking is CBE, which is the Brazilian Federal Fencing whatevers.
Mhm.
And the position, which is actually the actual number of the position that the person is in the ranking. So if it's like 20th or 100th and so on and so forth.
Mhm. Okay. I think I
So-
understand the issue. Do you want me to jump in?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you go back to the chart there, that preview mode.
Yeah.
So you see how there's only 4 values. There's 2012, 2013, 2015, and 2017.
Yes.
There's no 2014 and there's no 2016, right?
Yes.
Is there a reason for that?
No, I just put it randomly, because the person maybe, I don't know, from one year to the next year, it didn't have any changes in the ranking situation, you know?
Okay.
So it was just that. Not necessarily every year we'll have a ranking position, but if I have to, I can make changes for that. Yeah, for sure.
I would definitely make sure that you count every year, because you need to make sure that you have the same number of X values as you do Y values.
Oh,
So
got it.
if you don't have any information for that year, there's a couple things you can do. You can either show 0, like show it as a 0, but then it will show as though their ranking went to 0, or
Yeah.
you can show the ranking of the previous year in the same spot. But whichever way that you do it, you have to make sure that you can't, there's no way to split the values with this chart. You have to make sure that you have the same number of X values as you do Y values. That's the one kind of weakness. You can't plot it by saying, okay, in 2012, it was this, and 2021, it was this, and there's nothing in between. It would show you just 2012 and 2013, because there's only 2 values. So they're pairing the values up. Yeah, the X and the Y.
Okay. Got it.
So the way around this is to kind of figure out, do you want to show, like, what do you want to show? Do you want to show the previous year? Do you want to show like halfway in between the 2 years? But that would get complicated. If we go back to the value, back to the chart on your bubble app, let's just have a look. I don't know if there's one where it says like, do not plot 0 values or something like that. I don't know if that ever comes up. I don't think it does. It'd probably be above there. Yeah. So
Yeah,
bar
no,
width.
I know that they have like a function, an option here where you can start from, you know, like start from 1 or 2 or whatever, but not plot 0. I didn't see any.
Okay. Yeah, unit before 0 line vertical. Yeah.
It will be like sort of here in data labels, not data labels, here on
Mhm.
the grids. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you have to make sure that every value is there. So you want to show their rating. Is there a reason why they wouldn't have a rating in a year? They just wouldn't.
No, no reason at all. Actually, I just I put the values like this so I could have like a more different chart, you know, like I don't know. I think it would be. I thought it would be like more cool to show it, but yeah, I didn't think about that the person would have to actually input this every year, for example, for us to see the evolution of the chart, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like you can't. Yeah.
I'm trying to think about now how will how I'm going to explain that to the user, you know, inside the input field where he's going to be inputting his data, that I will have to tell him somewhere that, okay, you cannot have only a 2012 and then skip to 2015. You have to go year by year.
Let's try something for a second. This is total a shot in the dark, but let's see if it works. Go back to your bubble app And I want you to create a fourth. Can you create a fourth series for that ranking?
Yes, I can. Let me just do something little quickly here, so it's easier for us to see this. Here, fourth series, fifth series here.
Yeah. So for the Y values, Eric, can you type in like 200 for the Y values? Yeah. 200, comma, 300. Don't put a space.
Oh, no space?
No
Okay.
space. Yeah. 300, comma again. So you're going to have two commas together, and then 25. 250. Make it 250, not 25. That might skew the results. All right. Let's just have a look at what that looks like. I'm just curious, if there's no number, is it going to plot it as 0 or just not going to have a number?
But I don't know if he's gonna plot because I'm not saying the year for it.
But you're never saying the year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So let's see. So it goes 200 to 300, and then it goes to 0, and then it goes. So every year that you skip, it's going to go to 0. Yeah, it treats an empty as a 0, unfortunately. I wonder if there's a way to skip. What's the name of the plugin again? It's called Charts.js. Is that it?
Yes, yes.
Let's see if we can skip an X value. How to skip X axis in Chart.js. Let's see. Span gaps option in the docs is what you're looking for.
Span gaps.
Something called span gaps. All right.
Gaps here. Found it.
You found it?
Yeah. There is this one option here called span gaps with a question mark, and it's no.
If set to true, empty values will be skipped and set to 0. Yeah. Let's do that. So do yes.
Yes.
And then check your chart. A rudimentary Google search should save the day.
Yeah.
All right. So should
But
that
you see, that's the difference, because you knew what you were kind of looking for.
yeah.
That's the experience difference here.
So I'm going to share my screen. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So I'm just going to explain like how the Chart.js plugin works. So if I'm just going to jump into Notepad here, because that'll be more than enough. All right. So the way that it works is that you set the X values, right? Actually, it would be best if I if I did this in a table. So let's do a Google Sheet just to show off. So if you have the X value and you have series 1, series 1 is just a list of numbers. It doesn't know what X value it's referring to. So if the X value is, let's say 2012, and then you have 14, and then 2016, and then 2017. The way that this works is like, okay, there's 4 X values. So imagine that the data is in 2012, they did, I don't know, they were 30th place, right? And in 2013, they were in 40th place. And then in 2014, they were in 10th place. Okay. So it goes up and then down, right? Now here's the problem. Your X value doesn't include 2013. So when you put this in, you're just getting a list of numbers. So it literally will just match them like that. So it'll say the first value is 30, the second value is 40, this third value is 10. It doesn't know that this is 2014. It doesn't do any matching between them. You're only giving it a list of numbers. So series 2 could be 2017 was like, I don't know, 110th place, and then 2018, which was 200th place, right? But for series 2, it's just going to do this.
Yes, so that's exactly what was going on with me.
Exactly. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you are giving it 0 values for all of the years. So you need to cap it so that you have the exact same X values. So that's why I'm saying, like, don't change what your X values go up by, because that's going to be really difficult to try to get a number set. Yeah, exactly. So just have it so that your X values are completely uniform. So this is 2013, 2014, 2015. And then we're going to try to make the data, like if we have a 0, yeah, we're just going to make it like 2016 would be equal to 0. And then what we do is we do the span gaps equals true. And then when that span gaps is true, it just literally just skips over. It doesn't plot it, skips over. So do you want to us to try to generate that 0 data?
Yeah, let's just check, because when I put the span gaps over there, it changed on the data that we manually put in, but the other data didn't change.
Well, the reason that's not changing is
dynamic
because you don't
data.
have any 0 data in there, right? So let's jump in and let's have a look at what you have there. Can you share your screen again? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just
I'll also bring up your app here. The name of the app was
Soul, S-O-U-L. Not very creative. I already told them that, but don't listen to me.
Oh, I think I was revoked for my collaboration. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Here I am, data, app data, ranking.
All right. So you've got different ranking for different years, right?
Yes.
So you just have the ranking year and then you have the data. Is the ranking year a date? It looks like it's a date.
Yes.
Perfect. So go to design tab. Sorry, first tab, design tab.
All right.
Okay, yeah, open up that. All right, so go to Y, or let's first, can you go to the X values?
Yes, here I am.
So you want basically the first year and then the last year and all the years in between, right?
Yes.
So what you're going to do is you're searching for all of their rankings. I'm assuming you're searching for all of their rankings across anything, right?
Yes.
So let's get their ranking year, and then you're doing formatted as the year and then doing the unique elements. Instead of doing that, I want you to group by. So go to ranking. So yeah, so click on ranking year. Yeah, right there. And then group by. And you're going to add a new grouping. And then it's going to be
By year.
Yeah, ranking year. The type of grouping will be month. And interval will be 12 months.
Yeah.
The starting date will be the very first. So do that search again.
But then here I'm looking for ranking
Actually,
again.
Yeah. Do a search for, yeah.
Do a search for.
It's the same search that you're doing.
Rankings. Do I need to put like the constraint, like current user?
The same
constraint?
constraints, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And then here, first item.
Well, you have to make sure it's sorted first. So go back into your search. And then sort by year. And then you want the very first year, which would be descending. Yeah. Sorry, I mean, don't change it. Yeah, no is the answer there. Okay, and then you're done with that. And now you take the first item. And then we're going to take you have the search, you're going to get the first item, and then you want the ranking year. Yeah. And then click do not skip empty groups. That'll tell you to give you an ending date. Just do the current date and time.
Okay. And then let me just check here, because this, okay, is ranked. Okay, it's right. It's sorted properly.
Yeah.
And then I have just to finish this with rankings here.
Ranking year. Yeah. And then format it as.
Oh, no.
Click delete.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, custom Y. That was interesting. I didn't know you could use capital Y's and get whatever you got there. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So we've got ranking, and then now we're going to show, that'll show all of the years. So why don't you go ahead and refresh, make sure that's working first before we move on to the next thing. So you should have from 2012 to 2021. And if we don't, then we'll do a little bit of inspection as to why. There we go. So we have all the years. Perfect. Let's jump back into Bowl. Then you're going to scroll down to the Y values. And essentially what you're going to do is that same X search that you're doing. So why don't we just copy over that expression? Yeah.
If there is one thing that Bubble really was good about doing, it was like copying expressions, because this saves a huge amount of time.
I just learned the other day that you can copy database, like you can copy
really?
data fields, and you can copy option sets. You can copy in between apps as well. So if you have like an option set that has a list of 300 countries that you manually typed in, you can just copy that and paste it to your
come
other
on,
apps.
record a loom for us, please.
Yes, I will do that.
Because that's a good trick. Okay,
Sounds
let's
good.
go.
All right, so yeah, so now you got your search, and then CBE, you're gonna have to refine your search now.
Okay. Ranking is Lima Chipo equals CBE.
Okay, so that should be good enough for that one. And then instead of grabbing the ranking year, you want to grab their, I guess it would be the, what's it called? The position, right? So click on, you're going to have to do an aggregation. So click on, yeah, group by, add an aggregation. And the aggregation is going to be, I mean, there's only one per year, right? Or can they have multiple rankings per year?
No, technically one per year.
So it doesn't really matter. Just don't pick count or product. Pick minimum or maximum. Those probably give you what you want. Yeah. Minimum, and then field to calculate on is on the position, which is however you say that. Posição. Okay, of course. And then let's jump in. So yeah, change the ranking year to the position. Yeah, min of position. Yeah. Okay, and then right click that. You're going to copy that and then go to number 2, paste it over, change it to, I think that's FIE. And then, oh, you just changed the name. Undo that.
Wait, what?
Instead of changing the Y value, just undo Control Z. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. FPE, perfect. And then 4.
It's the Olympic.
And then get rid of series 5, the data for series 5. Also the name. I think it'll put the name if you, yeah, there you go. All right.
Fingers crossed.
All right, fingers crossed. If it doesn't work, we'll figure out why.
All right. We are the champions.
Yeah, perfect.
It worked.
It worked. There you go. It's exactly what you wanted too. It's a really weird chart, but it looks good. Yeah.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. I have a couple more questions, but yeah, let's start with the rest of the guys, and then I come back. I promise it's not chart ones. So.
I enjoy the chart ones. I can figure those out.
Yeah,
okay.
I see that you're a chart guy. You know, like
apparently,
yeah, he likes it.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so I think cheers. After Francisco, I think that was Adam, but is Adam still here? Adam? I think
here. Hi.
Okay, is your microphone working now?
Yeah, it is. I was on a call, but I wanted to make it, so but I just muted myself for a bit.
All good. That's why you didn't say anything when I asked you how you were doing, hey?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, what's up? What's the question we got?
So I am trying to do a content preloader, and essentially, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even need it for the actual content. It's really just for the purpose of aesthetics because it's part of my onboarding process. And I can share my screen and essentially show you what I'm looking for, but it's like, I found an HTML and CSS element that does it because Zero Code has their own plugin. Like, but I tried using Zero Code plugin and it has so many errors, and it's $35. So, and like, my thing is, if I bought a plugin for $35 and randomly there was an error one day, I'd be pretty annoyed. So I just don't really trust that. And I went out to them already, just being like, "Hey, what's going on?" So I'm trying to get to the bottom of it with them and seeing if this doesn't work, doing an HTML element, then that'll be my last resort. But I just want to see if this is possible. So I'm going to share my screen.
All right, let's see if we can figure it out.
While you're sharing, just as a notification pro tip, we can test plugins with you. We don't have to pay for them on our agency plans. So if you're wanting to try one out, just let us know and we can do that on office hours.
And yeah. And always keep in mind that if it's a subscription, they're prorated. So you can try it out for like an hour. And if it doesn't work, then you pay like 10 cents for it or whatever the hour would be. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably not even that. All right. Let's hit it.
So this is the just having this type of quick little animation situation happening. It's got the CSS here. It's kind of long. Like there are some elements, but I'm wondering, is it possible to make something like this populate using an HTML in Bubble?
Absolutely. There's a lot of plugins that do this. I know you have the Zero Code one, but I think there's a Canvas one that's being used actually. Tonya, do you know specifically anything about preloaders?
No.
Okay. I haven't used a preloader before, but I do understand the concept ish. Is there anyone else in the group that has experience with a preloader? I'll ask that question first before I try to attempt anything.
Yeah, no, I don't have it.
No? Okay. That's
And
fine.
to be clear, I don't even need it to actually preload the content. This is an aesthetic thing for the onboarding process, but it's something it's a gamification of the onboarding process. I can get into it with you during one of our coaching sessions, but yeah.
For sure. So it is okay. Preloader. Let's do it. I haven't used it, so this is going to be bumpy, but do you mind if I share my screen? We'll go through. Okay. All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to create a test page here.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to clone it. So test 54, sure. All right, so let's say that you have a repeating group and you want to show the repeating group like is loading before it actually loads. Okay. I'm going to try something here. So let's jump into add that plugin for Preloader. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can have, I'll actually show you how to do this. We've got a few different ones. So this is the Zero Code one. I think Zero Code bought this one.
Okay.
So we're going to subscribe to it for a second. Yeah. And then I'll unsubscribe. I'm doing this in the wrong way. I should be doing this in my agency app. But that's fine. We'll get by. Okay. So with the preloader, if I throw the preloader on the page, preloader, there we go. Do we have an initialized preloader enabled or not? Okay, and then we should have some events that come with that. So let's just test. So plugins, anything on preloader, start preloader, stop preloader. So I'll do, instead of doing that, I'll replace it by another type. So on page load. So the reason I'm doing this is I just want to have an inkling of how they're doing it and to see if we can kind of reverse engineer. So I'm going to click preview. All right, so we've got a preloader going on. So I'm going to inspect the page. I'm going to go into the sources. I'm going to see the plugin here on the side. You can see here's the preloader element. And then I see it says start preloader. I'm just going to move this over so we can see it. And then here we have stop preloader. And then here's the actual information for how they're doing it. So it looks like they're creating a whole bunch of constants. They're like, if it's a video, if it's text, if it's rounded, if it's an image, they have different constants that are referring to the different elements. And then we're appending some CSS to all of those. We're saying WebKit animation name simple preload is what we're adding to it. Okay, so let's have a quick Google search to see what comes up. So we got page preload. Looks like they copied and pasted from here. Page preloading effect. So here's the markup for it, and here's the CSS. So it looks like it's built into Chrome. So Chrome, or I mean CSS itself. So CSS preloader. Let's just have a look at that. Probably, oh, it's because I put a minus there. CSS preload. Okay. So we've got link types preload critical assets to improve loading speed, how preloading works. I don't think this is the preloading that we're talking about. Critical CSS. All right.
I'm thinking of just like a GIF that kind of just goes again and again and again in a loop like that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, is that actually built in? Let's see if that's built in. So it looks like it is. So it's got an animation name called simple preload. And their duration is 0.1 seconds, and then it repeats. Animation duration is 0.1 seconds. So they're starting the duration, they're creating the lines, they're generating the preloader. So they're inserting the divs that add the containers. And then, okay, they're doing a callback. I love their comments in Russian. That's great. And then they're appending a child. Okay, all right. The way they're doing is, they're adding event listeners, and then they're removing event listeners when it finishes loading, which is pretty complex. The way that they're doing is pretty complex. You can see that it's just enabling it. You're not going to get this level, I think, just by hacking it together yourself. Mm-hmm. I mean, hold on a second. I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, this stuff is like I don't need it really interacting with data in the database. It's really just the visual. Like if I could find a GIF on the internet, I would put it up in these areas, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the idea of like what they're doing here. So if I were to put like office hours, sure. And then I got my data source, do a search for. Okay, and then I put my image. I'll just put a random image. The way that this is working, it's grabbing those elements and it's giving them, it's changing them for a second, and then adding an animation to them dynamically. And then it's telling it, once it's finished loading, it's telling it to turn that off. So if we want to do that with just CSS and HTML, I don't know if there's a way for us to know when it's finished loading. That's the thing. So I'll just put in, test, and then let's hit preview. Let's see what happens.
I would be okay with it. Just because basically I'm going to repopulate it. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm going to create a group that's collapsible. I'm going to have this loading. And then when someone fills out a part of their profile, this loading thing disappears and it's their name. It's kind of like gamifying it. So it's like, oh, you filled out your profile picture. It's not like a gray preloader anymore. It's your profile picture. So it makes people feel like they're accomplishing something.
Oh, so you want to animate So is this the idea of what you want to happen when it's doing that? Okay. Can you re-explain what you just said?
Yeah. So basically, so let's say there's a classical group, right? One has the parent, like, or the current user's full name.
Mhm.
Before they fill out that information, it will be a gray preloader that essentially is like doing the animation. And then when they fill it out and they click next, the next button will, you know, create current user's full name equals this input. So it will replace and say when that's not empty, then that preloader animation is not visible, and then the full name is visible. So each step it does that. So it basically is like showing them that they're doing something. So it really doesn't matter what's in. It could just be like an animation or a GIF or something. Even if it did the zero code plugin, I would just put spaces and have them load that, or just put some sort of image that's like not really even an image.
So, okay. So would something like this, like, do you absolutely want it to load on the page, or like, could you just use like a customizable kind of like animation, like overlay here? Because there's a free plugin here that has Canvas UI elements, which is the loading screen. It'll show a loading screen. I'll show you what that looks like.
Okay. I mean, I do want the bar, like because I basically want to make it the length that you'd assume a full name would be, the length you'd assume a bio would be, and like I don't want it to do the whole page. It's a part of the page.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's hard to because I haven't done that yet. Let's see if there's anything out there. This might be something that I'll need a little more time than I think office hours would be good for in terms of like discovering how that works.
Just an idea though, but you guys could manually, is a little more rough, I think, but you could use like custom states, can't you? You have the animation over there, like the GIF working, and after the person fills the input, you just tells the GIF to not show anymore.
Right. That's exactly what we're thinking. I'm just trying to get the exact GIF in the first place. You know, like the custom state part, the collapsible part's not the problem. That's kind of easy. It's just like actually finding the animation to be working.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, to use native bubble to do that, I can't think of a way off the top of my head how to do that. I would have to do some more searching. What was it that you searched for, Adam, in order to get that code pen that you were looking at?
Here, I can here, let me reload the page and I will put it in the chat.
Okay. In the chat. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, content placeholders. The container block has the background animation with a mask on top of it. The mask is made of a bunch of empty child blocks with the background color set to white as the foreground, and some transparent blocks make up the content. All the child blocks are absolutely positioned to the container block. Okay. So we create the mask. You're using Sketch here. So you're grabbing a SVG file. Oh, and they're just looping through. Oh, they're looping through. Oh, I see. That's how they're doing it. They're just doing a CSS on the SVG to change the color of it in a gradient. Okay. Ease of use, easy to update. The thing that they don't talk about here, though, Adam, is they don't explain how to remove it once it's done loading. Because like you don't actually, it's not taking very, like if you're doing this for the name and the profile, like that's loading pretty quickly, right? It's just, you want to add this on top of that. You're not actually hiding the loading time is what we're doing, right? You're not actually hiding the loading time.
When you say hiding the loading time, what do you mean? Because here's the thing, they're gonna have an infinite amount of time to fill in their name or whatever, right? So
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm thinking about this in the wrong time. So this is not really a preloader per se. This is just an animation while they're waiting for them to put
yes,
in there.
and as far as like the having too much code happening at the same time, what I would do is I would essentially change the HTML to be blank when their full name is visible. Like when current user's full name is visible, then this HTML is blank.
Okay, and then did you try this already? Just throwing this in?
I tried and it did not work.
Okay, so if I grab the HTML, okay, so there's the div with the SVG, and then we want to add the CSS to it. So we do style. And I grab, oh, wish that it could just grab with a control A, but can't do that. Okay. And then back to here. Let's add that here and then slash style. And let's see.
Yeah.
There we go.
It did okay. Now, all right, I can mess with this then.
You can change the background to all white, and that'll remove that.
Can I change the background to transparent?
Yeah. I think that's FFFF and then 0. Should be
Yeah, I'm gonna
transparent.
want to change like certain things on the SVG. Like I want to change the size of the profile picture, the name, move some things around. So is there a way that I can create an SVG and then replace whatever SVG is in there?
Absolutely. So Figma is a great way to create
Yeah.
SVGs. So if you
I
just
love
throw
it.
it, yeah, they're great. So if I just grabbed, let's say, yeah, sure. Here's some avatars. If you just wanted an avatar to load like that.
Mhm.
So once you grab the SVG, so yeah, let's take this. Like you could use that for the loader, right? Or the profile picture.
Mm.
So we just go to export, and then you export as an SVG.
Mhm.
You export that file. Once you have that file, you can actually grab just straight up like the source of it.
Mhm.
So you just grab all the paths and everything, and then copy that straight into the Bubble app right here.
All the paths. Okay.
So let's replace the path file. It goes all the way to div SVG right there. Okay.
Wow. Huh.
So they have looks like they have some width and height. So you can change the width and height of the div that they're animating in. So you can see here it's 400. So you change it. I think it's 150 by 150 is what that is. And then the wrapper. Let's change all of that. Let's change the content block to 150. And then there should be another height or width in here somewhere that I missed. Yeah.
And what is the trick for making something transparent?
You put a 0 after the color.
Okay.
There we go. Got something like that. And you can play around with there's like they put a div border around it. So you just you figure out content block. I think they changed this to maybe 170.
This is perfect.
Something like that.
Yeah, because what I would even want is like I probably just, as far as an SVG goes, do you want just taking out the SVG and seeing what it does? Like
changing what, sorry?
Like taking out the SVG, because it looks like it's not even going over the SVG. It looks like it's functioning on its own.
Yeah, let's see. I think it's gonna need the SVG, but we'll see.
Okay.
I think it's grabbing the background of the SVG.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just maybe create like a white SVG or something. Okay. This is really helpful.
Yeah, you'll have to play around. Like if I look at the code here for how it's working, here's the animation. So it's making the background color change. That's how that's working.
Right.
Sorry? Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can play around with the CSS and maybe instead of changing the background color, you change. Are there, yeah, fill. So path fill. I don't know if that's a CSS. So here, CSS path fill. You can change that with CSS.
I think I saw a background color like on the CSS when I was there, when you were just in there.
Yeah. There's a background color changer. And then we can also change like pretty sure we can change the fill of that. We can change the fill of the SVG. Anyway, is that enough for you? Do you want to keep working on that or?
No, that's great. If you don't mind copying and pasting the code in the chat or something, that would be awesome.
Yep, for sure. Bubbles acting funny here. Okay.
Another good reason to join office hours. So
Yes,
you can be part of the chat that's happening.
absolutely. Apparently that's too large. I don't know. Or is Bubble just not wanting to copy anything? That's not the copy function. Paste. No. Okay, I can paste other stuff. Yeah, it won't let me paste that.
All right.
Let me.
If you can paste it in like an email or something, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll send it an email. I won't share my screen for that. Okay, perfect. All right, next up we had
Actually, Adam, you want to send me the email address you want to use and we can add you to the Slack.
oh yes.
Sure.
That's another thing. Members get access to our Slack.
I have it, Adam.
Okay, thank you.
I'll throw you in there. Okay. All right. Do we have another question here?
Are we back around to me yet?
I think you can go. Jen,
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead, Brittany.
Okay, so I never got this issue fixed. It's where I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I already have it
Okay.
set up, waiting. So I was having an issue with like when they're picking a membership, it's just loading really slow and it never goes through, and I have to refresh the page and then do it all over and then it'll go through. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I've already put in their card information or whatever. So
What's the error that you have there on the right?
I don't even know. I just did this because I know you were going to ask, so I was trying to have it set up already.
Yeah, let's
Right here.
That error looks like that's a problem here. Yeah, so scroll up. Looks pretty significant. Okay, cannot read properties of undefined. Where is that coming from? Run debug. Refuse to connect to Stripe. It violates the content security policy directive, connect source self. Refuse to connect to Stripe. Okay, can you right click one of those error messages? And instead of, yeah, sorry, don't right click on the link, right click on, yeah. And then save as. And then, yeah, just save it somewhere.
Okay, I need to make sure creates and downloads text document.
Okay, and then go ahead and open it up. Open up that file that you just opened. Sorry, sorry, the file that you just saved. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing because I don't know what's about to.
Okay.
So I'm just sending.
Okay. Give me a second.
For those of you who are in the chat, I just tossed a link into the YouTube channel where we have Eli working in the new responsive engine last night. He was showing us how it's all done.
That's awesome. All right, so looks like this is the error message. Can we grab? We're going to look for the one that you were just in, Stripe, where it wasn't loading. So it's loading more than once. That's a bubble thing, not us. Don't worry about that. Do you have more than one bubble plugin? Sorry, more than one Stripe plugin?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you could be getting some conflicts there.
Okay.
Which Stripe plugin are you using? Are you using both?
I was at first, so we couldn't get the marketplace one to work. So I'm not even sure that I'm using it anymore. But I'm kind of nervous to take it off because I don't know what.
Are you saving tokens within Bubble?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't do the Bubble, like the native Bubble one?
So I wanted the functionality of it. I wanted it to be able to only give payouts on a certain date or whatever. So the regular Bubble plugin couldn't do that. And I wanted to be able to take a percentage from it. And I honestly think we figured it out with the Stripe Bubble plugin. But like I said, I did so much, so many different ways. And I still have buttons that are like hidden, but they're still like, I don't know. I have a lot on there that probably does need to get deleted. So if I delete it in, I don't know.
I mean, everything else is working except for one of them. You're saying like one of the subscription models isn't working?
No, so they're working. So see, it just stops here, right? But like if I refresh the page and then do it again, it'll go through. Like, so it's just the first
turn debug mode off. That's my first recommendation. Does it work? Does it work when debug mode is off?
I'm not entirely sure. Well, now I have to sign up again because it's going to automatically work because I already been through it. So I would need to do another test sign up, right?
Okay. Can you just can you manually change it in the Bubble database or no?
No, because like the person has already had, well, I don't know. I can try. Let's see.
Couldn't you just subscribe to a different plan than the one you just did?
No, it's going to automatically work. So because I've already done it once, ran it through one time, it always works the second time. So like, it doesn't matter if am I making any sense? I think it's just something on the page that isn't working because I've already signed them up with a credit card. Even if I take it off, I don't know if I'm making any sense.
You are. It's just, there's something the first time it doesn't accept it, and the second time it does.
Right.
Yeah.
So
go ahead and make the new user. We'll take another question and we'll come right back to you.
Okay.
Yep. Who's next?
I think Jordan came in next. Yeah, Jordan.
I think Thomas might have been for me, but I don't have anything, so I'm all good.
Oh, you're all good? Okay. Tom, I think Thomas, you were just hanging out today?
Yep, I'm good.
All good? Okay.
And then Ben came in.
I'm just hanging out.
You're just hanging out? Okay.
Awesome.
I might have something for after hours just because of the API keys with that Google issue we're having, Tonya.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good thing to save for office hours or after hours. Yep.
Awesome.
Another reason to join?
Another reason to join. Yeah, you're picking up. You're picking it up, aren't you? We're in full on. I mean, we're not completely through our rebrand, but we are definitely in launch mode. So go to pronocoders.com and sign up today. So
I might give you something, Justin, if you got a sec.
Yeah. Yep. Let's do it. Is it a long one or a short one?
Nah, it should be a short one.
Short one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so activity. So I've got a activity here, and it's got 4 or 5 different types of activities. One's like SMS, email, task, etc. Because I'm using this BDK rich text element, depending on what type of activity it is, it needs to be set to either rich text or HTML for email.
Oh, I see.
So when I have to run the workflow, oops, push the wrong button. So when I have to run the workflow, I've got to do a separate one for each type of activity, which is just a little bit like messy. I was wondering, is there an easier way to do that than having to, run it through like that?
So just a way of cleaning up trigger log call, trigger log SMS, or log email, depending on what it is.
Yeah, can it be done in one trigger, or does it need to be?
I mean, you could set up a trigger, like each of those could be a trigger, depending, like either you do this here or you do it on the API. Or like, oh wait, you have a trigger. Oh, it's a trigger. You're triggering a custom workflow. Okay, so you have log a call, which is making changes.
Yeah, log a call.
Log an email.
This one needs to save the description as HTML. This one needs to save the description as rich text.
Oh, so okay, yeah, there's a way to do that. It's actually quite straightforward. So if you did log a call, for example, or log it, or wherever you are right now, yeah, go ahead, make changes. So if you were to change description right there where it says text editor activities, sorry, the next one, yeah. If you were to do, just check if what kind of activity it is. So this activities.
What is this one? This is a call.
Yeah, so this activities call, right? Or like this activities type. Okay, so this activities type is, and then which one sends HTML?
Which one does HTML? Email?
Yeah, just email, right? All the rest are text.
So some of them are rich text, SMSs, normal text, and email. Yeah. So there's 3 different types.
Okay, so if you would first do is email, and then you do formatted as text. So the way that this works is like, if the answer to this is email, like if it is yes, if it is an email, then you can put the HTML. So you grab the HTML for it. So I guess it would be the rich tag or BDK or whatever the name of it is.
BDK.
Oh, dynamic data disappeared. Yeah, activity, and then content is HTML, right? And if it's not, then you need to check again, is it a, like, what SMS was the other one? Was the other different one?
Well, there's 4 different ones, yeah.
This activity is what? So is which one? So you said, so emails HTML, log call, stage change, note, task, update. Are those all rich text?
Yeah, so SMS is
The only
is
difference.
normal text, and the rest of them are all rich text.
Perfect. So you do SMS and then format it as text. So it's like it's a nested if is what you
Yeah.
have here. Yeah. And then if it is, then you want to grab the SMS or the just the regular, just the text content, right?
Yeah.
And the other one would be the rich text. And then you can accomplish all of that in one. If you like using formatted as text it's just a lifesaver in so many situations, especially when you have like a conditional text that shows different things depending on if like if there's an S at the end, like how many messages do you have, but what do you have? One message, stuff like that. Formatted as text is perfect for that. It really cuts down the time.
Yeah. Okay. I've never really used it, so I suppose just get my head around it. So this is saying the activity type is email, then yes, then change it to HTML. If it's not, then check if it's SMS. If it's SMS, change it to text content. If it's not, then make it rich text.
Exactly. Yep.
So then I can move that up and just into that workflow and get rid of all these other ones, right?
Yep. As long as they're doing the same thing. I mean, it looked like some had an error alert and some did other things. Right.
Yeah,
One
well,
sends the email.
The only two things that are different is the emails and the SMSs actually send stuff. The log calls, the the tasks, they don't do anything else.
So you just include I guess like a condition on those, and then you'd be good.
Yeah. So when it's completed, is that better to do it by a database trigger or
you're scheduling an API workflow, right?
Yeah.
So it's virtually the same thing as a database trigger. The database trigger just works by it automatically. Every time something changes, it's triggering the database trigger. So it's the same deal.
Same thing. So either.
Yeah, either's fine.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Easy
All right,
one.
Brittany. Oh, sorry, Jordan.
I said an easy one.
Easy one. Yeah. Brittany, do you have that next user?
Yes, so it worked. I think when I took the debugger off, it just went straight through.
Yeah, the debugger treats things very differently. It enacts things in a different order than it does on the normal page. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
Okay.
Oh, Thomas, you got to go. All right. Have a nice weekend.
Bye, guys. Take it easy.
We're going to take the rest of this to after hours. We will be back on Monday for our normal office hours at 10 a.m. Pacific time. If you'd like to join us for a complimentary session, please go to ProNoCoders.com, sign up, click office hours in your member portal, and come in at the appropriate time. We'd love to see you. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you on the flip side.